hello. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a fabulous day so far today. Hello, hello. Oh, I got one of those anime thingies. Nope, other way. There we go. Mantis, Firefly, Diana, congrats on being the first ones to arrive. Hello, Foxy. Hello, Mazza. Hello, Firefly. Sorry, you gotta run back to class. Thanks for stopping by to say hi. Yeah, sorry, Mantis. See, that's the one I end OBS on, and then I forgot to switch it back. Hi, Whole Queen. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Maz was a Michael today. Hi, Archangel. Hi, Jay. Going to a restaurant for dinner with my boyfriend tonight. Ooh, that's so exciting. Have a great time. What kind of restaurant? You don't have to tell me the name or anything. Just like, what kind of food does it have? Hi, TK. Welcome in to Tiki. Sorry. I have a Jolly Rancher. I probably should have spit it out before stream, but also it's a Jolly Rancher. I don't want to spit it out. Ooh, Italian food. If you decided kind of what you're going to get. I always like to wait to decide until I see the menu because it might change my mind. But pasta does sound really good right now. All right. So on the schedule today, I did have starting a new challenge. I decided against starting it this week. It just required more thought than I had put into it over the last few days. I've been kind of busy. So as a result, we're going to have to move that to next week probably. I'm going to reanalyze some things and make sure we can do it. So we're just going to finish out the week with 999. We are still having our charity stream on Saturday though. So on Saturday, we will be doing a charity stream where I will be cosplaying as someone. I'm going to leave it as a surprise for now though. Foxy! Thank you so much for the subscription for the 20th month. Enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. I'll see the menu. I've never chosen before restaurant. If I've been to a restaurant a bunch of times, sometimes I know what I'm going to get before I go there. But yeah, if it's the first time I've been one, I imagine I always look at the menu first. Sometimes when I'm deciding on a restaurant with like friends or something, we'll look at the menu to decide whether we're going to go or not. And at that point, I've already decided what I want, maybe. I don't know. I guess it does depend on a few different things. That's exciting, though. I hope you have a wonderful time. All right. Let's go ahead and get into things here. It's so bright outside today. The sun's out. It stopped snowing. Oh, that reminds me. I have not sent a streak yet. Look, it's me. There you go. Alright, just so I don't forget to send that later. Sneakers! Thank you. Yeah. It's one of those coin flip things, Jay. You decide when the coin's in the air. Spooky music. Was that spooky? Might be a little spooky. Thank you, Mantis, for summoning sneakers. Let's jump into the game. All right. So no rain totem today, because it can't rain tomorrow either. We do have to clean up our inventory a little bit, though. Is that enough bait? I think with preserving, that's enough bait. And then for the... Let's grab this here. For the pufferfish, we are also going to want our... We're going to need one more of these. We'll probably need these two. Those will clear out pretty quick. And just in case, we're going to bring one more of these as well. 2 of these are going to clear out really quickly. Especially this guy. So that should make things a little bit less on here. Hi, Leela. Welcome in. If y'all don't know the wonderful Leela, Leela's an amazing streamer here on Twitch. Make sure you go give her a follow if you're not already doing so. Leela. Kat, welcome in. When will the new challenge be? Probably next week. I wasn't as ready as I was hoping to be today. And it is actually a challenge that requires a lot of thought. So I'm going to do some work over the weekend and hopefully we can get it started next week. I thought it was going to be a jump-in sort of challenge, and then I started doing math, and I'm like, oh, it's not going to be a jump-in sort of challenge. We actually have to really work hard for it. Okay, because it is a Tuesday... Mucky roll. Oh, I do not have my animation canceling on. So I've been playing Arc Raiders lately with my friends, and you cannot open Arc Raiders if you have auto hotkey open. It considers it a cheat software. It doesn't like ban you or anything, but it just prevents you from opening the game. So I have to close it every time I want to play. Well, that's not even ready. Another day then. Oh, we do need a buff here. Did I do everything else? Yes. All my Monday tests were done yesterday, which is kind of nice. We don't have to worry about any of them through the week. Let's go hunt some octopi. Is this the right one? Oh, okay. Wow, that's just a very nice octopus. The heck? It didn't move at first. There we go. Adjust inventory. Back to octopus hunting. Man, that takes a while. There we go, until noon. Unfortunately, that's not an octopus. Don't know what that is. Okay, that's fine. We do need that fish. Man, jumping into the game and immediately fishing for octopus is a choice. Okay, I think I got it now. My brain has to wake up a little bit. We came upon a palace. Inside there was a voice. It seemed to show no malice. To greet it was a choice, but nothing could prepare us. Fishing in the morning is very relaxing. I'm sorry, Cass. Look, I need to catch 1,998 of them. If it makes you feel any better, you won't see octopi for long. We'll be stopping in 2 in-game hours. Hope you're doing well today, Cass. It's good to see you. Ideally, we catch like 10 more, though. Definitely no guarantee of that. Just so random in its motion. We usually get about 13. What are fish numbers like anyways? They're doing pretty well. I was looking at them last night after stream. Mostly I was comparing them to creppers and PJs that were posted on the Discord. I mean, you can see how many more we have to catch on the screen right now. I guess that doesn't really give a good indication of how many we have, though. In general, right now, I'm kind of just... I have some different strategies, Mantis. I'm usually trying to get more than one fish at a time if I can. Having said that, the octopus and the pufferfish kind of are solo. Oh, I'm so proud of you, Cass. That's so awesome. Congratulations. I read your second message first, and I had trouble finding your first one for a second there. Sorry, my face made it look like I was contorting it for some reason. I like skipped over Mantis's comment and then went back to your original message and couldn't see yours at first. But I'm so proud of you, Cass. That's amazing. That is not even close to an easy thing to do. Generally, I am catching the full 2 stacks of fish first, though, before I smoke anything. So I only smoke the fish when it's completely finished, is the idea. We have all the coal we need, though. I think I bought that. I should probably double check that. Lionfish is a fish we do not need, unfortunately. Let's see if we can't get 13. 13 has been my lucky octopus number. It's like the most common number I get when fishing for octopus in the morning. This is not an octopus, though, so we might as well grab the chest and hope it's something good. I'll take a tuna. It was not something good. Clean up our inventory a little bit. None of those things I deleted are required, nor are they worth any money, really. I actually don't even need the diamond, but... Bonjour. Welcome in, Jazza. You've been working a lot lately. Hope you're making that bag. It's good to see you, though, Jazza. I hope you're doing well today. I missed. Okay, there we go. I guess you say getting that bag, not making that bag, huh? This is what happens when I try and use the youngin slang. I have 2 chests, one for regular, one for smoked. Yeah, me as well. I just put the regular one in the smoke chest until it's at a full stack, though. I don't know. Both PHJ and Crepper have very esoteric to me ways of organizing their fishing chests. It was so hard for me to figure out how many fish they had finished. I kept switching between the pictures. I just didn't get it. One for regular, one for smoked. Regular ones I fill the smoked one once there's 999. Yeah, that's exactly what I do too then, Mantis. Like, I'm trying to understand their organization system and I'm just struggling. I think I understood Creppers after a bit, but it took a while. Alright, unfortunately, we did not get all of the octopi I wanted. We might get one more here, though. I hope. Hello? Game? I'm at the limit. There we go. We got 12. That's fine. It amazes me sometimes, like, how long... Oops. Take that off. Alright, pufferfish time. How long the bite rate is when you don't have a dress spinner. I don't even understand mine. Yeah, that's fair, honestly. I don't know. I feel like I found a pretty simple way to do it. Have the chest for the raw, and then all the spillover goes in the chest for the smoked, and when the chest for the smoked gets filled, hey, I'm done with the fish. And then I smoke it. It's nice that they evenly fit into 2 exact chests. Like, of the stackable fish, there's exactly like 4 less than a full chest. Alright, and we go until 4 o'clock. We should basically get a pufferfish every time, although I say that and this is immediately a tuna, I think. So, or it's the nicest pufferfish I've ever seen. Okay. Think of the stoner fish. True. The stoned fish. Maybe in Stardew 1.7, the new marriage candidate will be the stonefish. CA will catch on. Wah! Wah! I haven't seen you in a bit, Foxy. I hope you're doing well. I know I already said that, I think, but just want to make sure that's clear. It's good to see ya. What's the stonefish's spouse room like? It's like Sebastian's room at Robin's house. It's got a bong. Exactly. Jazz was on the same page as me. It's like those big bongs that you see at the vape shop. That you can have like 12 people on at the same time. I have been to exactly one vape shop in my life, by the way. I don't know if they still do that. I did not like it. I will say that. Would not go back. Good deal, Foxy. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Dovalin. But it's not PG. Definitionally, to be on Twitch, you have to be older than 14. And I think if you're older than 14, you're allowed to know what a bong is. I don't think that's family unfriendly. Also, I'm not advocating use it. Maybe perhaps importantly. Chocolate cake, cookies. What are the other munchie foods? I feel like roasted hazelnuts kind of falls under munchies. Field snack. You can get food wherever. What are you guys' picked for the most unhinged possible choices for the marriage candidates? It's not PG, so it's not a flower pot looking thing. I got you, Dovalin. I'm sorry. I did misread that. I think the 2 knots threw me off. Double negative. Robin and Demetrius. You know what? That isn't hinged, but I could see that happening. If you can, in fact, break them up, like, that would also make Demetrius available. Mr. Q. That's not, like, unhinged. I guess it's a little unhinged. I don't think it's reasonable, but I don't think it's unhinged. Traveling cart fella. Gracie, welcome in. It is funny that CA did change it to a vase later. I thought I was on the fish. In the corner of my eye, I saw the chest, and I thought that was the fish. Pam and Clint. Pam is not especially unreasonable, though I would be surprised. Clint, I could see Clint only if CA really wanted to update his story a lot. But I just don't think... I feel like 1.7 is a lot of things that people are like clamoring for based on the interview. And I just don't think anyone's clamoring to date Clint. I do hope he updates Clint's story in general, even without a marriage candidate option. Your 8-heart cutscene is the divorce. Which one? Both of them? I imagine you'd have to make a choice. It doesn't just happen. I don't expect it to be 2 new people, Mantis. Someone linked, I mean, I just feel that way in general, but someone also linked an older interview where CA said he's probably not adding anyone new to the game, at least romanceable at least not friendable people to the game. It's not possible it's 2 new people, but I just don't expect it. Sandy and Clint, Dwarf as a roommate. I would love Dwarf as a roommate. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sandy and Wizard. They were both the second highest on the original poll. I'm surprised they just didn't do another poll, to be honest with you. That was kind of fun. I think it would be like heavily AstroTurf now. Maybe he knows that. I don't know if the term for that would be AstroTurfed actually, but I think it would be heavily attacked now. The game was not nearly as big when he did the original poll. Hi Cal, welcome in. Date Pam, marry Penny. That does raise some interesting questions, doesn't it? What happens if it is Pam, you like get her a brand new house and then marry her and then she's never in it? I guess it's Penny's house then. I hope that Clint gets cutscenes and a little bit more to the end of his story. Maybe just to show him growing as a person a little bit. Even the tiniest amount, I think would be enough. I don't think he needs to be a marriage candidate for that, though. He could just have another 2 cutscenes, or even 1 cutscene. What you working on now? We did Octopus until noon, and then we're doing Pufferfish until 4. And then we're going to the night market to grab as many blobfish as we can. Yesterday, we managed to get 17 blobfish in a single day. I'm hoping to be able to match that every time. Yeah, I'd be okay with CA adding Gunther and Marland. However, my only thought is I don't think he wants to make Perfection any harder. I think he's pretty happy with where Perfection is in terms of the number of things you can do. The number of things you have to do for it. So I would expect that 1.7 adds very little to the difficulty of Perfection. Which is why that's the only reason I might think he doesn't add... I mean, not the only reason, but that's one of the reasons I would think he wouldn't add new characters or new friendables. I would not be opposed to being able to friend Gunther and Marlin, though. I think Perfection is in a really good place right now. And I think he thinks that too. So I don't know if he wants to make too many big changes to that. He still might. I don't know. I don't know what lies inside his heart. More likely head in that case. All right, we can get maybe 1 more cast off here. I don't think it'll go in time, but we'll see. Hey, we got it. Nice. We got a pufferfish. Inside of 7 seconds. I'm still not sure of if it's when the minigame comes up or when the bite happens. Because time still moves between... the bite time and the minigame coming up. All right, we got 20 pufferfish. That's pretty good. Add some new maps. I'm down for some new areas. I think that would be really fun. I don't think it could be a major area, but another area like the Witch's Swamp would be really cool, I think. Wouldn't be that hard either. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. All right, let's get ready here. Okay, all of these are fishies. These are all stackable fishies. We did pretty good on the numbers here. We're going to count once we get our blobfish too, though. We do need 2 of these for tonight. Ems, welcome in. I'm sorry. That's... Oof. Oof. 20 and 2. Try the limbo. I will extend the challenge if we can do items. Yeah, 1.7 will be included in the challenge. I don't know when 1.7 is going to come out, though. If it's, like, more than a year away, then it might be a problem. I don't know if it'll be more than a year away, though. I don't expect that many new items for the same reason I mentioned. I don't expect many new friendables, or if any. But there probably will be some. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Dovalin. We'll probably get a release date at some point, and then maybe I can prepare for that a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ems. CA is gonna spawn camp me. I don't know if that's the term I would use, but I kind of get what you mean, yeah. We didn't even use a single quality bobber. That's so silly. What? How did that even... Okay. All right, we got plenty of time here. Because of how the time works out, now I have to wait for 5. We wait over by the traveling cart, though. I do kind of like the term spawn camp here in this context, though. That's pretty funny. I don't think he would intentionally add items to make my life more difficult. However, I don't think he would really think about me when adding items either. I don't think it's an important distinction to make. Or an important thing to think about. The flower dance area? Yeah, I don't see much benefit of having that, though. I mean, it is like a little area down there. The weird thing is, like, the top of the flower dance has like a little path, and I've always wondered where it goes, but maybe it could connect to like a secret bottom exit to the secret woods. That'd be kind of cool. I kind of want to do a video where I go around the world map and like figure out some of the things that could be CA's secret. But the way he described it, it's so difficult to get that I don't expect we'll be able to figure it out. I have a few ideas, but not very many. And all of them are obvious enough that it would have been... He said pretty clearly, like, it has a good chance of never being discovered, which is not the vibe I got from the few ideas I have. Dang it. It's too hard to perfect catch. So we have a 90% chance of getting iridium here. Good. Okay. I can perfect catch it sometimes, but I'm not likely to be able to do it most of the time, sadly. Yeah, no perfect catch there. %90 chance. Nice. If it was something hidden in the code, it would already be found. It's got to be something like hidden in background art. One of the things I wondered yesterday is the background in here. We'll see if we see this in just a second here. There's like 2 fish that can appear back here that are not in the game at all. They're not deciding to show up right now, but they're not in the game at all. And he specifically said it was something that like was a hint for something in a future update, but it never came to fruition. So it's now just kind of there in the game. And that kind of describes that, right? Yeah, the shrimp. We did get one thing. There's also like an eel that's very similar. But neither of them are existing fish in the game, is the thing. Nothing wants to show up right now. I swear, they do show up. There's also a midnight squid that can appear here, but it is the midnight squid, so it's like already a thing in the game. The other two, though, are fish that are not in the game at all and never get mentioned anywhere else. And so my thought is that he thought about adding them, made a little Easter egg for maybe they'll appear later, and then decided against it for later. They're really just not showing up. I've never had fish not showing up in the background. I swear. As a fun note here, you have a high chance of getting like trash and seaweed. But the only fish you realistically get here is blobfish. I think all the other fish have a 5% chance in total. So 1 out of 20 chance of even showing up here. This is an octopus. Crazy. That octopus has like less than a 1% chance of showing up. The translated ruins are already translated, though. Like, I don't know what that would be hiding. Maybe there's, like, a message within the message, somehow? But he says he doubts anyone will ever figure it out, which is kind of the problem with my theory and a lot of other theories. If he thinks that no one's gonna figure it out, it can't be something that, like, has a lot of scrutiny on it, right? Hey, Albert, thank you so much for the 7-stream streak. Welcome in. I think I just said that, didn't I? Oh, well. Like, it has to be really hidden if he thinks no one will ever figure it out. The fish are, like, literally just not here. I would like that a lot, Math. Updates to existing terrain a little bit. Another idea might be, like, more cave layouts. Like, more Skull Cavern floor options. He already added a few, but, like, even more could be more fun. Maybe, like, certain floors in Skull Caverns. Like, sometimes you can randomly get a treasure floor. Maybe sometimes you can get randomly some other kind of floor. That could be kind of fun. They know you, Cal. They know everything about you. It's definitely not in the files. If it was in the files, someone had found it. The files are all, like, plain text and available online. And Blade's not the only one who goes through them. It has to be, like, hidden in the art or, like, the dialogue. And it has to be, like, some kind of hidden message that isn't immediately obvious upon seeing it. In my opinion. I don't know what else it could be. Hey, Kai, welcome in. It's good to see ya. Hey, Evertalk, welcome in. Wait, I said that already, didn't I? No, I didn't. I don't think I welcomed you in. I'm sorry. Welcome in, Evertalk. These bubbles are being pretty nice to me today. They're spawning and staying around for a little bit, and they're in range. It's kind of funny thought, Evertalk. Technically, I guess you should. Because you are, in fact, under pressure. It's like teleporting out of an airplane, but the opposite effect. Your pressure would, in fact, change extremely rapidly. So rapidly, in fact, it might just kill you straight up. I guess it depends how deep you go. I don't know. The dock doesn't seem like it's that deep. I'm surprised that we even get that far down. Oh, look. It's one of the deep shrimp. That's the secret CA was talking about. Probably not. But that is, in fact, something that is in the game. Oh, hold on. It is something that is in the game that looks like it hints at something in the future, but probably actually doesn't. Shrimp. Hey, Nico, welcome in. But it's too obvious. He said it would never be found, and, like, I already found that, so I doubt that. Yeah, deep sea creatures are amazing. My other thought is it could be like that background in the flower dance, but no, because it existed from before that. He talked about that secret after 1.4, I think. So that can't be it. Yes, layman chemist. He just gave an interview. Well, I'm sure the interview was a longer time ago, but it just came out yesterday. He talked about that secret again. It was mentioned like years ago as well, before 1.6 came out. Before 1.5 came out, I think, too. Or somewhere around there. I think the earliest it could be, or the latest it could be, is the 1.5 update. Yeah, the interview was very good. So I don't think it could be anything in 1.6. He said a few things about it, but he generally just said it alludes to something that was going to be in the game later, but never ended up being in the game. And that it's extremely difficult to find. He doesn't expect anyone will ever find it. Which implies it is extremely well hidden and possibly like not even really decipherable outside of making vague guesses. It was on the website. I don't know if they had I don't think it was audio. I think it was just, they did write out dictate the entire thing. But it's on IGN. I think if you just search IGN CA interview, it's probably going to be the first thing that comes up at this moment. We only got 10 today. Oh my gosh, that's not good. We got 17 yesterday. We got a lot more trash, I think. Dang it. All right, 12 is a lot less exciting, unfortunately. Ooh, nice math. All right, we can do one more here. That's closer to 17. All right, one more. Lots of unfortunate stack checks today. Some good ones, though. All right, one more. Can't stop me. How much trash am I going to get anyways? We only got one fish that was not a blobfish. And that was the octopus that we couldn't catch. 14's not bad. We take it. You do not just die. I teleport out and then delete the useless stuff. Sure. Okay. All right, let's count our fishies before they hatch. 20, 32, 34, 35, 49 fishies today. We're expecting to get less. That's just normal on these days. But they are fish we specifically need. Okay, 24,767. I could pass out. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but I like clearing out my inventory before I do. All right, I believe Mantis was asking about my fish totals. So these are all the ones I have over a stack of. All of the smoked ones, and then anything that I have more than one of in here. So our blobfish, I mean, it's sort of catching up. We're only 100 behind the spooky fish now. If I can catch the blobfish up to the spooky fish, that's good. That's really the best I can do, I think. We're going to get too many midnight squid, but I think that's okay. I think I'll survive with too many midnight squid. Okay. Eels are only about 500 away from finishing, 550-ish. Ghostfish, unfortunately, are getting closer to being finished. Not very helpful. These two are not part of the Fecade, but they will continue to go up. Sandfish, we've actually moved up very quickly. I feel like if I just focused on Sandfish for the remainder of winter, I would actually finish it. We have none of the legendaries done. We don't even have a single stack of any of the legendary fish. The closest is Miss Angler. I'm not focusing on them right now. That's going to be after the Fecade. That way I can spread it out a bit more. Yeah, I'm not too worried about Midnight Squid Row, though. It'll be fine. Anything else in here? Oh, Sardine popped over the 999 barrier, I think yesterday. We're extremely close on Albacore, by the way. Starting on... probably on Thursday, we will get our first stack of Albacore. Yeah, because we're only about 11 away. Your anglerfish looks different than mine? Oh, this is Miss Angler. This is the one you get from Extended Family. The legendaries you can't catch more than one of, so they don't count for stacking. Well, you can technically get 3, but you can't get 999 of them. That's Angler's wife. That's my wife! Auto pitters are not close to finished. Auto pitters are going to be a thing we do. We're going to get half of them from golden mystery boxes, just by opening the ones for mystery books anyways. And the other half we're going to get from Skull Cavern dives. But we're going to do those after we finish everything we need to at the Desert Festival. So not for the rest of the Fecade, at least. Yeah, those ones, Cal. Yeah, you can't get a stack of the legendary fish, unfortunately. I wish you could, because then I could get their row, too. But, it's very funny. These chests, look how many spots we have for stackable items. If the regular legendary fish stacked, we would have exactly one less than enough spots for all the fish, which would be so sad. 33 green legendaries. Yeah, we started some of these. This is the radioactive carp, though. This is the Extended Family one. This is the Legend 2. I think the second highest we have is Glacierfish Jr., which should be right here. Yeah, 167 of those. So one. Sun of Crimson Fish is the one we have the least of. I'm not looking forward to that one. I haven't really messed with these yet. We're going to have to focus on that. I like how all 3 are here. And then Miss Angler we have 833 of, because I've actually kind of focused on that one so far. Yep, they're not on the items page. Yeah, I just tried it out once, Dovelin. I think my strategy was good. I think it's the best we're going to do. But yeah, we've been focused on other stuff. I have to check whether it's worth it to go for the bait on these. I don't think it is. It might actually be better on the radioactive carp to go for a wild bait. I'll have to double check. Same with Son of Crimson Fish. I think we have to do the bait on Son of Crimson Fish. Based on the math I was looking at on the thing, the Son of Crimson Fish has extremely low bite rate, but the bait makes it like 3 times higher. So it is actually quite worth it. Unfortunately, that means that we lose 1 fish for every 7.5 we catch, but I think it does end up being worth it. Hey, Mistra. Can't you just catch 1 for each Q quest? Nope. As long as the quest is active, you can catch as many as you want, but as soon as you finish the quest, you can't catch any more. So if you just focus on 1 fish, you can catch as many as you want during that quest. It does not go away, which is very helpful for me. It would be very annoying to have to do that quest 999 times. It would spread it out a lot more, though. So Dovelin, all of the Extended Family legendaries are weird because they all have a fixed bite rate. It's very strange how it works, unfortunately. However, the targeted bait does work on them, and curiosity lures also work on them. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at that. I have this open anyways. We might as well. I was messing around with midnight squid fishing later, but let's go over to, for instance, let's look at the Son of the Crimson Fish. We need Extended Family Quest active. We're probably going to do something like this. Okay, close the chests. Why do I have this on? Let's just do deluxe bait. Do I have to go West Pier? I'm not at the ocean. That would be... No. Summer? No. Hold on. What's going on here? Oh, the depth! Okay, we have to be deeper. Okay. So you see that without the curiosity lure, the Son of Crimson Fish, no matter what time of day it is, has a very fixed chance. It doesn't matter what fish are available, it's always 18%. So that's just how it's coded. No matter what fish are available, it's always 18%. That helps in some ways and hurts in others. It helps because it doesn't matter how many fish are available, you always have the same chance of catching it. It hurts because no matter how many fish are available, you always have the same chance of catching it. So even though there's only like two other fish available late at night here, it's still only an 18% chance to catch. You can affect that number though with the curiosity lure. Curiosity lure, it's different for each one, but it's basically like a flat 30% increase or so. So that goes up to 25. And you can also affect it with the targeted bait. So if we do Son of Crimson Fish bait here, yeah, that gets us all the way up to 44%, which is really good. So the problem with using the curiosity lure here, even though it does drop it like quite a bit, is we kind of need that other bobber slot. So we absolutely need a quality bobber because we need iridium, and I cannot perfect catch this fish. The Son of Crimson Fish is not an easy fish though. So with a curiosity and quality bobber, I'm not guaranteed to be able to catch it. Upping our fishing level. Oh, it does actually change. That's interesting. Huh. Fishing level actually changes Son of Crimson Fish only if you have targeted bait on. That's so odd. So we're almost certainly going to use preserving. So our fishing level's probably going to be 14. Catching the Son of Crimson Fish with 14 fishing, it's not impossible. And importantly, no trap bobber. It's not impossible, but it is a little difficult. So that might be something we have to consider. Yeah, for how much bait I'm getting though, I always take the average, which is 7.5. It gives 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 with equal likelihood, Dovalin. So the average is 7.5. But with preserving, 7.5 becomes 14 on average. So that does often make it worth it. That means we have one less fishing level, but we also get to keep it longer. Ideally, we'd use the curiosity lure. I'm going to see how reasonable that is when I actually do it sometimes, but I haven't actually practiced this at all. All right, and then let's take a look at the sewers here. And let's just switch wild right now. So it's a 10% chance to catch it if you do not have a curiosity lure. If you do have a curiosity lure, it's a 20% chance to catch it. Curiosity lure seems very worth it here. If I use targeted bait, okay, it becomes 40. Yeah, that's almost certainly worth it then. With preserving, targeted bait definitely makes this worth it. And this one I can catch. This one's not that hard to catch. Yeah, the algae in the trash is really annoying. Targeted bait makes the trash so much worse too. But this one's not too bad. At a 40% catch rate, I mean, you can see there. Ugh, that's not that pretty. But we knew that going in. So that tells me how much time it's going to take the stack. So about 12.5 hours for one stack. Yeah, the Legend 2 is an entirely different beast. Unfortunately. Hold on, I'm going to go back to the... I didn't actually look at the time for the Son of Crimson Fish, so I'm going to go take a look at that really quickly. We keep everything basically the same here. Oh, we got to switch this back to Son of Crimson Fish bait. Yeah, so this is actually less the mutant carp, but we might have to do this, which would make it more. Although, honestly, I mean, it is a lot more, but it isn't that much more. I don't know. We'll see if we can reasonably catch it without the trap bobber. It's going to be a little tough. Now, speaking of fish that we can't catch without the trap bobber, let's go over to the mountain lake. I can never find things on here quickly. All right. If you use targeted bait that isn't the Legends 2 targeted bait, it's very funny. For whatever reason, the Legend 2 especially is susceptible to this. It basically becomes a 0% chance if we use a targeted bait that isn't for the Legend 2. However, we are not using targeted bait for the Legend 2. we are doing this. And we are doing this in winter specifically. So in winter specifically, we are going to be using wild bait. And we are not only going to be catching Legend 2, we're also going to be catching lingcod and sturgeon. Now, the nice thing about doing all three of these together, we have to use quality bobber and we have to use trap bobber because this is a hard fish. I have to use the trap bobber on it. The nice way about doing it this way, so I have not finished lingcod or sturgeon, nor will I until I finish Legend, is that essentially it turns a 10% chance to catch into a 30% chance to catch because I need all three of these fish. So as a result of that, since all of them are about a 10% chance to catch, sturgeon's a little less, but the weird thing about sturgeon is it's not the entire day. So if we are fishing the entire day, that's hilarious. You can go negative on the time range. Like so. It'd be more like this. You'll notice that the sturgeon actually drops down a little bit. And that's because the sturgeon is not available all day. So past a certain point of time, it'll stop spawning. So on the whole, we're probably going to get a little less sturgeons, but we can finish those off as we need to. But yeah, what basically ends up happening here is that because I can fish for all three together, and it's really easy to tell them apart. So the other three fish here, or the other four fish that can show up here, I should be able to cancel pretty much instantly because they're all really easy fish. I will know immediately that it is not a lingcod, a legend, or a sturgeon. There's also the midnight carp, but that's a very rare one at the end, and it's also not hard to tell apart. Hi, Delphi. Welcome in. So that's the plan for the Legend 2. During winter, so we can catch all three fish together, that increases my chance of catching a fish I care about by a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't make things perfect. As you can see, these numbers are massive. So this is almost certainly going to be the last one I finish. But really, there is not that much of a better way to do this, sadly. All right. And then finally... Oh, I guess I didn't check the other seasons. They actually do matter for some of them. Actually, I don't think the other seasons matter for the other ones. I have to check. All right, anyways, last one. Well, there's Miss Angler. Miss Angler, we've actually been using challenge bait, and it's been working. I'm going to probably keep doing that until it doesn't work. Then we have the Forest. Now, the nice thing about Glacierfish Jr. is we really do not need to use targeted bait, because the difference it makes is very minor. Weirdly enough, the Curiosity Lure doesn't do anything, which is very surprising to me. But it does open up the fact... I mean, we have to use a trap bobber here, so it doesn't really matter. But it is a 50% chance. If we use targeted bait, you are Glacierfish Jr. It does go up to 83%. Is a 20% increase worth it? It might be with preserving. Can I catch it with preserving? I should be able to. I can do the math on this. 608 per stack. Oh, we should lower this a little bit, by the way. More reasonable. Yeah, 608 per stack, which is really not that bad. This is one of the easier ones. Wild bait is more. However, we are using a certain amount of fish up when I do the targeted bait. It's tough to be sure on that. We won't be doing this in winter anyways, but I don't think it matters. It might matter for the targeted bait. Spring, 84. It really doesn't matter that much. I guess spring is the best one to do it in, but really reasonably fall is fine too. Yeah, you know what? I think the targeted bait might be worth it here, Nico. I think you're right. With preserving, which I don't normally consider, it's only 1 out of 14 fish. So basically, what I want to do is multiply this by... Or sorry, multiply this... Or add 1/14 of this back to it to see how it compares, because that should get it back up. So 1 divided by 14, that's a fun fraction, multiplied by 5.97 plus 5.97, it becomes 6.4. And if we switch back to this one, it's 7.54. Yeah, so the targeted bait is worth it. Good deal. Oh, sorry, ads. I got really distracted. Got really distracted. Mel, welcome in. I hope you're having a fabulous day so far today. Ooh, ah. Okay, well, it's time for that anyways. Y'all don't know the lovely Mel. They're an amazing streamer here on Twitch. Make sure you give them a follow if you're not already doing so. I keep forgetting I have a Mel command. I literally just offhandedly typed !Mel, and I was like, wait, that doesn't work. And I was like, wait, it does work. Anyways, Mel's awesome. Go give her a follow if you're not already doing so. Oh, speaking of things, I finished the second Akatar book last night. No spoilers for anyone who has not read them yet, but I enjoyed it a lot. I really liked it. I was surprised in some ways. All right, we did not look at the one left here, which is Pelican Town and Miss Angler. So there are a few choices. There's challenge bait, and then there's targeted bait. Now with targeted bait, we have a 35%. So water depth is only 2 here. So that does not guarantee iridium quality with a curiosity lure. But there's no reason why we can't go up to 16 fishing. It would use up the bait more quickly, but also we do get a lot of fish. That is the one with Reese, although that is not how you spell it. There is a massive twist in the second one, Delphi, I will say. It is not quite the same, but if you didn't quite get into it, I mean, you don't have to keep reading, obviously. The non-spoiler version of what happens in the second one is a lot of the stuff that happens in the first one gets very heavily recontextualized. Yeah, Reese is right. There you go, Evertuck. And you get very different opinions of characters by the end of the second book. I prefer Throne of Glass. I believe Mel's reading that right now. Lauren Elizabeth, thank you so much for the follow. Okay, I got you, Delphi. This is why I don't go on TikTok. Sure, that's the reason. All right, so Miss Angler's up to 11.5 hours per stack here. However, we should get the correct number because that is going to be... So the total for that isn't actually going to be that. It is going to be... I'm just going to write this on here. 13.01 hours for the targeted bait fishing. But if we switch to challenge bait, it obviously gets a lot lower. However, we should expect to only get... I'm going to go with 1.8. Where on earth is Miss Angler? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Sometimes we get 1, but most often we get 2. Okay. That puts us at 10.43. Under these circumstances, I would probably do the 16, yeah. Because I don't mind using up the challenge bait so much. You finished TOG already? Nice. What was that last screen? This allows you to change the average fish you get for each challenge bait. So I'm not going to get 100, all 3 fish each time I catch Miss Angler. So I made it 1.8 instead to make it more approximate to what we're going to get. If we get 3 every time, that'd be amazing, but I don't think that's often what I got. Usually I get 2. 2 is probably the most common. Sometimes I get 3, sometimes I get 1. That's an option, yep. Chronox added it for me, which was super helpful, because it's true for a lot of fish that I'm not going to get every everything. And it's definitely worth changing that, because it does make a big difference. We went from 6 to 10.5 here, for reference. 13.1 for the other one, though. So if I can average that, then this is definitely worth it. I'm not sure the Curiosity Lure here is worth it. We definitely need to max out our fishing level. I think we do need to use the Curiosity Lure if we want this to be worth it. Yeah. We definitely need to use the Curiosity Lure here if we want this to be worth it. The difference is pretty insane here. Technically, it is still faster if we use a cork bobber. We're only getting 90% though. What if we do this? No. Curiosity is definitely faster. Cork does let you perfect catch it. Oh, I see. We can't do it without the cork, you think, Nico? I think you're right. I think we can't do it without the cork, even with 16 fishing. That makes it a lot closer, and maybe not worth it. Hey, Fahad, welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. I see. Yeah, I think we do need the cork bobber. You're right. That makes it a lot closer. Like insanely closer. So under these circumstances, without the quality bobber, it takes 13.03 hours. And with the, I'm sorry, with the challenge bait, it's 13.3 if I'm getting 1.8. With the with the targeted bait, it's 13.01. Huh. Like they're literally 10 minutes apart. That's so funny. So they're kind of equal in under those circumstances. How long will it take to catch these 25,000 fishes? Hopefully less than like a month or two, IRL. But we'll see. It's gonna depend how much I stream. Okay, I haven't done this math this closely before. This is surprisingly close. Now, the difference, if we can make this 2 instead of 1.8, probably shines through pretty heavily here. Yeah, it immediately drops down by another hour plus. I don't need any of these other fish. Oh, there's a good point, too, to be made that I didn't actually check the targeted bait with the other fish here. We do need the 16, that's right. Okay. It kind of does not matter. Spring works the best, though. This is just better, isn't it? Oh. I'm counting the targeted bait use. That's why it's 13.01. Yeah, I see. It's just the little gears next to the challenge bait there. See those little gears there? You just click that. I'm kind of going back on my previous thing here. I think it's actually faster to use targeted bait. Wait a minute. I don't have to spend... That's right. There's a 10% chance we get gold quality here. There's a 10% chance we get gold quality here. As a result, we don't actually have to... Well, that's interesting. We don't need to use the fish for the bait. So this is just faster. I think this is just faster. What about this? That's slower. But 10% of these are going to be gold quality. So is this 10% faster? What is 10% of 11.48? Yeah, it is faster. That puts us at 12.6 hours per stack. Okay, I think it's just faster than the challenge bait. Even at 2. Even if I can guarantee 2, I think if I can get 3 every time, then the challenge bait's definitely faster. But I can't do that. And I've never been able to do that. So I think the targeted baits is actually faster here. I keep forgetting I have a whole bunch of gold quality misanglers too. So I don't even need... Like, where are they? Right here. I have all of these. I have almost a stack of gold quality misanglers. I can turn these into bait, so I don't even need to use up the bait. Use up the fish for bait, which I think just guarantees it faster. We also have all these, too. So yeah, we don't even need to do the bait for the radioactive carp. Because I did start catching those beforehand. I got quite a lot of them, didn't I? I don't even remember getting all those. For iridium quality. Okay. We're playing the game again. I promise. Maybe. Do I have enough pufferfish bait? 15. I had 25 yesterday, so yeah, that should be enough. We're gonna have to make some more, though, soon. I'll grab one of these, just in case. That should be enough. That will last. This probably will last, too. It's a little close, but it should. Yeah, we should be good. Let's pass out. Pass out. Nice. Yeah, I had fun with that, Nico. I think I have some left, Dovalin, but the roasted hazelnuts were just easier, I think. Actually, no. I definitely ate them all. I would keep eating pink cakes, I think. I could grab more, but I'm getting to the point where money is not really a problem. So I might just buy energy tonics or buy salads or something. I don't know. The amount of energy I need is extremely low. We could just literally buy salads. Let's see, any pink cakes in here? We also just have all of these. These are fine. Like, we're gonna go through a lot of just random food, I think, before we have to worry about buying any. I could actually also just go grab more roasted hazelnuts and pink cakes for free. Yeah, that's all of my pink cakes left. It would, Nico, but the times we need more energy, we only need, like, a little bit. Like, a salad usually is going to be enough for, like, what is that? 20 more times fishing? Almost? Maybe closer to 18 more times fishing? Which is all we ever need more food for. We're almost done with that anyways. So I don't think it'll be a problem. Alright, everything else good here? I guess I could swap these out for Statues of Endless Fortune and just grab them on the way through. From Statues of Endless Fortune. Dovalin. When I used to collect them actually every day. Every spring 4th, it'll be roasted hazelnuts for Kent's birthday. Do you have any ring in Stardew? I have all of them, yes. Actually, there's one I'm missing. Because it's part of a combined ring now, is the immunity band. I only have one of them, and it's part of a combined ring. Yeah, they're really good for food. Where'd you get all the hazelnuts? All right. Oh, we do need a little dish here. Oh, as a note, that's not enough seafoam pudding, is it? We're gonna have to make some of that. Did I put them in the fridge? We did not. Okay. Welcome back, Violet. Good to see you again. It's flounder and midnight squid? Is that right? I think it is. Is it midnight squid? Hold on. I cannot remember for the life of me. No, I need the slime for red slime eggs. This is something I need to do. How many do I have? I have 0 Q seasoning left. Alright, we're gonna go buy 300 Q seasoning, I guess, real quick. I'm missing something? What are you missing? Took me way too long to find the lucky ring. Panning at the dig site gives you a lot of them, and I have panned at the dig site a lot. I think I have more than 30 of them. Slime jacks give slime in the fish ponds. And they do it very passively, so I don't have to work hard for it. And then 100 slime becomes a random slime egg. 9% of them become red slime eggs. Good question, Mantis. I think the first thing I'm going to do with it is open it up and then decide what to do with it. I'm just gonna... yeah. That was a lot of money, unfortunately, but it's kind of what it's for. Yeah, I mean, that'll be part of it, Mantis, but I'd rather just use the space while I'm using the space, you know? It might just be a moss farm for a while. The faster we get moss done, the happier I am as a human being. And we can still finish a whole day collecting trees. What am I missing here? Oh, it's Midnight Carp! Why did I think it was Midnight Squid? I'm a fool! A dumb fool! Okay, I'm not dumb, but I am a fool. There it is. Alright, I think 300... I don't know, I'm going to use this a lot more now that I have it. I think 300 is a good amount to make for now, though. No one's dumb, but no one's wise. I like that. Alright, there we go. Make sure, yep. It's his time. Why didn't you use that first? Whatever. I agree, Evertalk. My thought is that it should be given to the not the glacierfish, the goby. I think the goby would be a worthy to take up the mantle of giving moss because it lives between waterfalls and it was added in the same update as moss was. I think I've made that suggestion before. Alas, there are dreams that cannot be. Right, speaking of which, I came all the way over here. I got distracted because we needed one of these, and I realized we were going to need those later. Oh, there are dreams that cannot be. Man, when's the last time I listened to the entire Les Mis soundtrack? It has been a while. Maybe the world isn't ready for me to be Les Mis pilled again. And there are storms we cannot weather. I dreamed a dream so far from this hell I'm living. I don't think I said that right. It's just an all-time musical. I think, like, anyone who's a fan of musicals would probably agree that it's just an all-time musical. It might not be everyone's favorite, but, like, I think everyone just knows it. I mean, my voice is terrible, but that's fine. I'm not acting in the musical. I'm just singing it because I enjoy it. My voice doesn't have to be good. It is just so good. Weirdly, this is going to be a very odd comparison to make, but it's like Dune, the book for me. The first half of it is like one of my favorite things ever, and then the second half I think is just really good. It falls off hard, but it goes from like an 11 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. That might be sacrilege for some people, I don't know. But the second half of the musical is just not as strong for me. The like opening 7 songs or so, outside of like Lovely Ladies, are some of my favorite musical songs of all time, and they're all like in a row. You feel the exact opposite. Oh my gosh. Confrontation is just like such a banger. And so is what's the name of the song? When Jean Valjean is like admitting who he is. Such a good song too. Yeah, I guess some people might feel the opposite. Jeez. I hate Fontaine saying, oh, but the music's so good. That's the problem. They make you feel sad, but the reason they do is because the songs are so good. I Dreamed a Dream is just an all-time classic. I feel like everyone knows that song, even if they've never seen the play. I guess, like I said, I don't really care for Lovely Ladies too much, but the other ones... Gosh, when she's dying and asking Java Jean to take care of her child. Oh. So good. Spoilers for a 300-year-old play, by the way. I actually don't know when that play came out originally. Octopus doesn't count as a fish? Why wouldn't it count as a fish? I update at the end of the day, if that's what you're referring to. So I'm not going to update this every single time I catch a fish. At the end of the day, we do a count on how many we got. Oh, it's a cephalopod. I mean, I feel like most people just call it a fish. Technically, yes. It is, in fact, not a fish. But if you broaden the definition of fish, it also includes all land mammals. So there's that. Thank you, Hank Green, for that. Oh, I thought I was arguing with the same person. Sorry, Evertalk. 1812. Okay, so 200 years. I was off by 100. I was off by 100 years. I wonder why that could have happened. I'm a fish. Technically, all vertebrates are directly descended from fish. So arguably, you are a fish. Fish got bored of being in the water and decided to kind of like huff it up on land, and then eventually became mammals. Well, became dinosaurs and then became mammals. Like, kind of at the same time. It's evolution's a little tricky. All came from water, all shall return to water. Or something. I guess evolution's not tricky, I just don't know it very well. Might be a better way to say that. But I watched a documentary yesterday because I was interested on YouTube about how life developed, as well as we know, from nothing into something and then into the life we see today. It was very interesting. Highly recommend looking stuff like that up. Technically, you're an amino acid. Thank you. I actually have more than one, believe it or not. Maybe you only have one, but I have a few billion, trillion, or something. Forgot the order of magnitude. Ancient insects were super big. Yeah, arachnophobes probably would not like it in the past. Actually, wait, no. Spiders aren't insects. Dang it. This is why I'm a physicist and not like a zoologist or a biologist or arachnologist. I actually don't know what the word is for the study of insects. Entomologist? Isn't that the study of words? That's a joke from an old XKCD comic. I know it is the study of bugs. Oh, we don't actually need you. I'll keep you. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. Don't need you. I could have you though, I guess. Oh, interesting. Lindsay Nicole. That is the most curious way to spell Nicole that I have seen today. $1.5 million subscribers. What am I doing wrong? Try Rocket Money. I'll leave that up for later. That is a very good joke, Mazza. I've never seen that one before either. I like that. Hey, Kasu. Welcome in. Entomology and etymology of bugs me in a way I can't put into words. I think there was an Archer joke about oh gosh, what was it about? What's the thing adjacent to a sociologist that studies like that starts with an A? How does geology and theology get mixed up? Anthropology, yes. There's a joke in Archer where they meet an anthropologist and Archer keeps on joking that he studies spiders. Have you ever seen a rabbit skeleton? It looks like a dinosaur. Same. I think most skeletons look like a dinosaur if you look at them. I don't know. I feel like most skeletons just look like that are of vertebrates are just like skeletons of vertebrates, right? They all kind of look similar. If you bend them enough, you're gonna get something that looks like a dinosaur, probably. Put that in. Throw that in. Good. The rabbit in my apartment looks like a dinosaur. Just put feathers on it? What is the difference between anthropology and sociology? Is anthropology specifically like sociology of ancient people? I feel like I'm gonna get roasted for this, but I am actually curious. I love that, Leela. That's amazing. You just like pull it out at parties, like, hey, you guys want to see the skeleton of my rabbit? Of my bun. Guess we can hold on to these. All right, hold on. I have to respond to this real quick. Yeah, that's my thought too, Avatalk. You can really arrange skeletons in pretty different ways, I feel like. And then they're probably gonna look like something. You brought it in frame to the vet. I don't know how often people show up to the vet with already fully x-rayed pictures of their pets. I'm sure the vet was very appreciative, though. IV hydrogen? Hydration. Oh my gosh. I can't read. I'm like, what are you doing IV hydrogen for? How do you even do that? I was so confused. Okay, I gotta read better. Little saline. Little Hindenburg. Lana, the helium! Speaking of Archer jokes. I'm pretty sure the airship episode of Archer is like my favorite single episode of any like comedic animated show ever. It's like infinitely rewatchable and absolutely hilarious. It has so many good jokes. I can't imagine IV hydrogen is good for you for a lot of reasons. They're different. Yeah. I was gonna say they were different, but I wasn't sure. But Avatalk helped me out. I think they're similar. I mean, they're definitely similar. Yeah, I rewatched it last year, I think, just to have something go on in the background. And I got to like the end of season 3, I think. Nah, I don't even think I got that far. There were incredible episodes. There's a few that are just kind of not that great though, that I completely forgot about. But it is an enjoyable experience for sure. Another all-time episode is the one where he goes on the chemo-fueled rampage. Do. Grab all the fishies. All the fishies, grab them. How many pufferfish can we get? What's your favorite fictional character? That is nearly impossible to answer, I feel like. I like a lot of ones for very different reasons, I feel like. That is like way too broad of a subject to have a favorite, I feel like. Hi, BioBecky, welcome in. I can list a few of them. A lot of my favorite characters like aren't even necessarily likable, which is very interesting. Gosh, that's so hard. Say from books only. Well, now I'm done. A lot of the book movies and shows I really like also come from books. Like if I said a character from Lord of the Rings, like they're also in movies. I also have not read the Lord of the Rings books, so I can't really say them. Gosh, they're such good characters though in the movies. I assume they're also good in the books. I'd have to think about that for a long time. I feel like I could make like a top 20 list with no one in a particular order. Just like my favorite characters, fictional characters. And probably come up with a decent list. Yeah, I know, Delphi. Everyone says that. They're just different, right? It's like they have different aims and have to different amounts of times to accomplish different things, you know? Yeah, there definitely is, I think your local library can do that a lot of the time. I think my dad did that recently. You can just, like, call the library and then bring in VHS tapes and they'll print them onto DVDs or flash drives for you. At least our local library does that. I don't know if all of them will. And if you can't do it at the library, I think there are stores and stuff that do it. You might also not have a library. I forgot you don't live in the US, right? I don't know if that's the same there. Yeah, I just remembered as I was saying that. Yeah. US public libraries are amazing things. And it's so sad that every time someone wants to get rid of them. Like, do you even know what they do? Have you been to one? Like, my local library has a 3D printer that you can just use. You just, like, send the drawing to them and you can just print something off. If you have a library card, obviously. They have a limit to, like, how many times you can do that per month. Just, you know, because it costs money, but you can't just go do that, which is insanely cool. Also, there's books there, believe it or not. Not everyone obviously has that, but not every library has that, but a lot of them do, especially in like the more major areas. Like a library is kind of like a hub to give you access to things you wouldn't normally otherwise be able to have access to. Books in the library! Through the Libby app, if you have a library card, you can get free audiobooks every month, which I really should use, but I don't. No clue what the heck that is, Ems. That sounds scary. I assume it's a good thing based on how you're saying that, though. Yeah, the Libby app is amazing. I actually probably should switch over to that, because, like, lately I've only really been reading, like, 1 book a month. So that's probably really worth it for me. And a lot of the time I'm rereading old books, and I already have access to them. Luna Lovegood. It's a good choice. I was just thinking the other day, someone like posted a thread on Reddit related to Harry Potter. I was just thinking how we know so few named characters in Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. Like, if I asked you to name 4 characters from Ravenclaw named in the books that are currently in Ravenclaw at the time that the books take place, could you do it? And same for Hufflepuff. Slytherin, we get like 6. So Gryffindor, we get like 30. It's kind of crazy how the difference is. I don't even think I can name 2 Ravenclaw characters. Luna, and then I don't know. I think there's probably more named, but I can't think of them. Ah, that's awesome, Violet. It's good to see. I'm a Slytherin here. I am a Hufflepuff, so not relatable. Unfortunately, Becky, I don't know any of those, but I'm glad you like them all. I like Snape a lot. That is a red flag. No, not necessarily, but I like Snape's character a lot. I do feel the need to preface character, though. No, not you. I need 2 of these. Yeah. Right, I think that should be good then. Lockhart just gives off such Hufflepuff energy. I cannot believe that he was a Ravenclaw. I did say that are currently in Ravenclaw at the time of the books, though. So that does... I agree that there are a few more. No Gryffindor here? Everyone wants to be different. I'm sure someone's a Gryffindor in here. I am, like, distinctly a Hufflepuff, though. Like, before I even took the quiz, I knew. Hufflepuff's awesome. We're particularly good finders. Cho! There we go. I almost forgot about Cho. Okay, Luna and Cho were the 2 that I could think of. I remember that Patel was one as well. Both twins of Ravenclaws, right? I don't remember the name of the other one. Patil. Sorry, not Patel. Yeah, Lockhart actually gives more Slytherin vibes, you're right. Slughorn was a Slytherin. He was a mostly good dude. Besides when he told the Dark Lord how to make a Horcrux. And then tried to hide that. It's very Slytherin to create disinformation, isn't it? Having said that, I taught my kids how to make atom bombs, so there's that. Unfortunately, it's really not that hard. Fortunately, the materials for it are much more difficult to get a hold of than... Yeah. So it doesn't really cause any problems. Alright, let's do this. Atom bombs. Yeah, atomic bombs. The ones that explode very large. Oh, congratulations, Violet. Ooh, what kind of theme does it have to it? I have not watched Young Sheldon, nor have I any interest. I have heard that it's better than Big Bang, but I'm not expecting myself to like it, so... Sorry if you like it. What? What? That's not a blobfish. I'm so confused. My brain just like did not accept the fact that was not a blobfish. Did not like that. I do like the idea of like a boy genius, but we already have Dexter's Lab for that. So I don't think I need young Sheldon. There's 2 spin-offs. That's what they do with popular shows, though. Milk them for all they're worth. I'm glad that people enjoy it. But it holds very little interest for me, unfortunately. At least Big Bang Theory is very much... What are you doing? You're not Blobfish. Big Bang Theory is kind of written like how people who aren't nerds think nerds act. And it's a little derogatory, to be honest. No, it's just not that entertaining for me. I dislike Big Bang Theory men. Like the men on the show or men who watch it? I don't know. Every time I hear like a clip from the show and like one of the people says something that they think is nerdy and it's just dumb, it just makes me never want to watch it again. The characters on the show that are men. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't seen the show much, but I have heard they do some very the show has some tendencies to be misogynistic, perhaps, might be a good way to put that. Maybe not like fully, but a little bit. I did watch Modern Family. I watched Modern Family with my family growing up, and I really enjoyed it. Growing up might be a bit of a misnomer, but it was on when I was in high school. We watched it a whole bunch. I probably saw the first 2 seasons in their entirety, and then we kind of stopped watching it together. But yeah, it was a very funny show. That's a show that, like, you can tell has very well thought out and designed characters that are perfectly work together for making comedy. Weirdly, I have not seen The Office. I have seen some episodes of The Office, but very few of them in total. And I've not watched any season all the way through. Just like occasionally saw it when it was on TV. And I've seen a bunch of clips online, but made me realize I could also be with a woman if I wanted to. That's awesome. Oh, for some reason I thought you were talking about Big Bang Theory. You like realized the men were gross, so you could realize you could be with a woman is what I thought you were saying. You're talking about Modern Family, which is awesome. Was Modern Family the first like openly gay couple on television? That's really cool if that's the case. I'm surprised though. I mean, I guess that was about the time where that would be kind of a big deal. It's crazy to think like 15 years ago, like most people like on average did not think gay rights were an important thing. That was only 15 years ago, and now it seems like everyone's on the same, well, not everyone, but the majority of people are on the same page about it. It's amazing that it's changed that fast, at least in the US. I can't speak for elsewhere in the world. I think Fahad was just confused by what you meant by that. Yeah, it aired in 2009 here. Yep, I would have been just into high school, maybe sophomore year of high school for me. Oh, there it did. So it might have aired here earlier. We need you. Yep, that's the right one. Already having 10 is pretty good. Oh my gosh, game. You can't just put bubbles there and only let me get one bubble off of it. Feels illegal. Weirdly, how the bubbles work in the submarine is closer to how I think they should work in the actual game. They should only appear for like, they should be longer than that, but it, whoops. It should really only be for like 30 minutes at most. And then you got to move around and there should just be more bubbles. Like they should almost always have like 2 sources of bubbles available on a map, but like force you to kind of move around to grab them. I think that would be like a really good way to handle them because it makes it more interesting. You have to actually move around to find bubbles. Gosh darn it. Lasts longer than that though. 30 to 40 minutes should be the average length, in my opinion. Let's try not to say our ages or imply our ages. Technically, it's okay here as long as you're over 14, but I don't think it's a good habit to get into online. Wait, there was a mermaid! Did you all see that? I didn't know that could happen. A mermaid just like popped up behind this guy here and went up through here while I was fishing. The parrot saw it. Party shrimp. Yeah, get him go. Yeah, I've never seen that either. I think it can, maybe it only happens in this window. Because I'm always looking up here. Do you think mermaids are real? Like, IRL? Not really. Guess it depends what you mean by mermaid, but no. Almost certainly not. That'd require, a lot. For real, things it could be possible. I don't think so. I don't even think a mermaid is necessarily a defined thing either. It varies pretty significantly between interpretations. Like there's mermaids, there's sirens, there's like all sorts of other things, but intelligent beings that only live in the ocean, I think we would know about them. The ocean's a big place, but intelligent beings tend to make a lot of noise, even if they're trying to hide. Like, if humans lived under the ocean, even like 1/5 of our population, it would be incredibly noticeable. Right? Like, we have trash, we have other stuff, like, floats to the top. Sure, the ocean can definitely hide some stuff, but, like, intelligent life? Hard to imagine. At least as intelligent as humans. Which maybe isn't actually that intelligent now that I'm thinking about it. Alright. That's fine. Get that out of there. So intelligent to make us look dumb. They wouldn't be that intelligent then. We make ourselves look dumb. We don't need help. Alright, how many fish do we got here? 1 plus 1 plus 14 plus 12 plus 2 plus 17 plus 1. 48 fishies today. 67 minus 48. 19. Also, Becky, I think sirens were kind of used to explain when ships are completely empty of people that are just found. I think that's kind of where the myth originated from, but there's other reasons that happens too. Exactly, Fahad, and we would have found them and exploited them by now. That's all of what humanity does. Alright, I'm not walking over there for that. Hey Magnolia, thank you for summoning Sneakers and Sneaky. Yeah, Cal. Even like some of the species in the ocean that we've never seen before, we have evidence for. Although I think we've seen them now, like the giant squids and stuff. Like we first found out about giant squids not by finding them, but by finding like the marks that they leave on sperm whales and things similar to that. Or their carcasses occasionally would wash up. The first time we saw one alive was only like a few years ago, but we still knew they existed. The megalodon existed before it. We have fossil evidence for it. So yes, it was real. It's not currently real to everyone's knowledge, but it's not impossible depending on where it lives. I think because the megalodon is a shark though, they have to kind of come close to shore. So it's very likely we would have seen them at this point. We need these 3. We're running out of time here. It's kind of important that we gather a few things. That's fine. Grab one of these. Grab one of these. That's not gonna be enough, is it? It might be. Grab one of these just in case. Is the Loch Ness Monster real? Yours is. Loch Ness Monster is real. And it's from the Twilight series. I clipped the mermaid. Will you let me share the link? Of course. I believe you should just be able to paste it, Leela. Let me know if it's mean to you, but I think you're just allowed to paste it. Oh, crud. Hold on. Can I get this out of my inventory before we pass out? Probably not. Oh, no! That's a shame. Is Bigfoot real? He is real in Stardew. Probably friendly, too. I assume that was known about, Leela, at some point, but it's cool that we saw it there. All right, I have to run to the restroom really quickly, so I'm going to just play some ads really fast, and I will be right back. Yeah, I think if you share a Twitch link, it's not going to eat you. If you share something from outside of Twitch, though, it might be a little meanie. Meanie bo meanie. What about the little foot? You mean like the Land Before Time little foot? All right, I'll be right back, everybody. But what if you came back just in time, Albert, for me? I decided to have a little lunch snacky. I made some Easy Mac and threw some stuff in it. It was very good. Yeah, Cal, it is a little rude. That's why you have a bunch of water, though. All right. It is the morning. We want it to rain tomorrow as well. So we are, in fact, going to rain totem again. Hi, Nelly. Was exciting to come into. I know, lovely, isn't it? All right, let us go clean up our inventory a little bit here. Just real quick. I guess we just have to get rid of this. And then we are doing our albacore fishing this morning. We can skip everything else because we're going to come back and do it later. Run straight to the albacore. I did not bring my food. Oh my gosh. Should I make dinner tonight or just body weight and bread? I would highly recommend not body weight and bread. But you are your own person. So if you feel like it is appropriate, then do what you must. That's a lot of carb loading, though. I'm going to presume that you aren't just eating, like, Wonder Bread. So maybe it's a little better for you, but... There is no bait. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. Almost want to restart the day. There we go. Okay, so we lost an hour. That's good. Really just a half hour. Alright, we are using challenge bait, so I have to pay attention. Right. Cheese stuffed bread? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can eat that. Oh my gosh. Why would your family do that? That's so rude. Did you not leave a sticky note? Leave a sticky note that says, eat this and I'll kill you. That usually works. Dang. Sorry that you got stuck waiting for so long, Albert. You make it sound like it was, like, destroyed. It was deleted. I assume I know what you meant. This, like, it was deleted from the schedule, but... It sounds like you're saying that the train was just, like, gone now. Goodbye, train. What a narcissistic thing to say. You should have hit it better. Like, yo. Were you... I guess I don't know the whole situation, but I imagine, like, they should know not to take the bread, you know? Or if to take it, only take a little bit of it for themselves and not the whole thing. It's a lot of bread to eat, too. It almost seems malicious. The good honey? No! Not the good honey! Oh, I almost messed that up. That is actually really unfortunate. Good honey is not cheap. That bread was probably a lot of money. I feel like they should pay you for that, but that's a little harder to do usually. You should make no more bread until they do the grocery shopping and wash the dishes. Make sure they pick up more good honey. I'm sure if they paid for the ingredients and washed the dishes afterwards, you would not mind making more for them, right? That's probably how I'd feel in that situation, but I imagine that's not going to be how it goes. Oh, that's unfortunate, Albert. I'm sorry you had to wait for an hour. That is one of the nice things about having phones nowadays, though. If you have to wait for an hour, it's not the worst thing in the world. Because you do have access to some form of entertainment. Can't be too mad, that's fair. You should set some boundaries, though. If they are, like, reasonable people, like, if you explain some things better, maybe that would be enough to prevent that from happening again in the future. Like, it doesn't have to be rude or anything like that. It can just kind of be like, hey, next time, maybe, don't eat the bread I made without asking. Or if you are going to have some, don't eat all of it so I can have some. You know? Just little things like that. You can also talk to them like you can only talk to families. Like, I feel like if I had that conversation with my dad, it would be, like, rude and sarcastic, but that's because we joke with each other a lot. And he would understand that I did mean it. Even if I was just being joking about it. Hollow Knight? What about Hollow... Oh, the music. Okay. I thought you were saying delayed, like, Hollow Knight, and I was like, yeah, I guess, but it's out. They'll make sad animal noises outside the kitchen. They got up at 3 a.m. to eat the bread. It must be pretty good bread. Honestly, you might be able to take that as a compliment. I wouldn't get up at 3 a.m. for bread unless it was really good bread. I don't know if you should have them whimpering over food, though. That feels like it doesn't build good social skills. I assume you're exaggerating, though. It had a cheese pull? Oh, I want a cheese pull. Hi, DMNC. Welcome in. Yeah, food smells is one of those things that can get me up in an instant. I usually can't smell them from my room, but if I can, they must be particularly pungent. Pungent usually means bad, right? Pugnant? I just meant strong smelling. Pungent. I like looking up words. Yeah, I mean, pungent technically just means sharp or strong taste or smell, but it doesn't necessarily mean bad. Good. That's what I wanted. I think it's often used for bad smells, but it doesn't have to mean that. Good morning, DMNC. Tofu noodle soup right now. I hope it is delicious. What on earth? You must be an albacore. And it's 11. So you can get the bite before the horse. Oh no, you're Albit. I lied to myself. That does sound very good, though. I've only had tofu a few times. It's usually pretty good. Sometimes I like it as a stand-in for chicken, because it does have its, like, own unique flavor. Where I feel like chicken is very... tastes like chicken, which I guess is a unique flavor, but... 5 days a week, good stuff. That's a lot of tofu. But that's good for you, I think. Alright, we're getting close to finishing off winter here. We got through the big parts of it. I think all of spring, unfortunately, is still going to be spent doing this fishing. Been a herbivore for 12 years. Congratulations. That is a huge commitment and extremely difficult to do. I mean, there are more options now than there were 12 years ago, but I feel like that's still very difficult. Vegetarian or vegan? Like, do you do animal products as well? It was crazy hard. Yeah, I have no doubts about that. From what I've heard, it has gotten a lot easier, but I remember when I was young, there were very few people who were actually just like strictly vegetarian or vegan. And as a result, I mean, there were people, but there just weren't as many options. Yeah, and if you're vegan, that's like really hard because animal products are used in like a lot of things, even if you don't expect them to be. Like a lot of makeup do animal testing or use animal products as a part of them. Hair products even. Yeah, true, Cal. Do 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 do. Still make mistakes. Yeah, but based on how the world works, I don't think you can really hold yourself accountable for some of those mistakes. It's like really hard to check all that perfectly. I mean, kind of just in life in general, all you can really do is live by a moral code and like stand by it. So it's really cool to see that you're able to do that to the best of your abilities. Yeah, that's a good way to think of it, Cal. Here's a question. If you could get ethically sourced meat, would you try it? So things like lab-grown meat, where since it's cloned, no animals were actually harmed in the making of it. Would you be willing to try that? Hey, Fireheart, welcome in. Putting aside that the company that makes it might not be ethical for other reasons, but just assuming it was in fact ethically sourced. Oh, okay. So if you had your own farm and you took care of it yourself. Interesting. So you could do it in a way that wouldn't be, like, as harmful. Ooh, octopus. Enjoy your lurk, Fireheart. Yeah, it's hard to imagine the world without cheese. Cheese is just so good. There are some pretty good fake cheeses now, though. From what I've seen. Fermented cashew ones. Not the oil-based ones. Yeah. Nuts are pretty powerful. You can do a lot with nuts. That's nuts. Hello, Ocean. Welcome in. We're fishing in you right now. You missed the rest of the night market, but we did pretty well. Ooh, that's awesome, Albert. How did blobfish numbers go up? We got 17 the first day. That was last stream. And I think we got 13 and 15. So pretty reasonably around the same each time. For like an average of 15. That's probably not going to catch us up, but it will get us a lot closer. Dang. I remember when I was young biking everywhere. That was like such a different vibe. I bet kids still do that, but I still have a bike. I haven't rode it in like 2 years. I probably should do that. Probably not right now because I have a hole in my chest, on my stomach, but and it's snowy out. This summer though, maybe I should try some biking. Yeah, Spooky's the one we need to match, is a good point. We're still... I'll check when we get home, but we're still about 100 behind Spooky. Again, I don't know why that's happening. But being able to catch up is good. So we did get about 45. When I was really young, like, I think between the ages of, like, maybe even, like, 5 and, like, 10, there was a camp, like a morning camp near me that we'd go to during the summer because our parents had to work. So they'd drop us off there in the morning, and we'd stay there through the afternoon when they got picked up. And it was like a farm camp. So they'd have us do, like, farm chores and, like, collect eggs and things like that. It was actually really, really good for me, I think, as a kid. It, like, forced me to socialize with other kids and, like, actually do kind of labor, and there was fun camp activities and everything. We're in year 97 right now. We would have to run and try and catch chickens. Well, we didn't have to. That was part of the fun. You'd run around inside the chicken coop and try to catch chickens. And there was, I almost said vultures, turkeys in there as well. And only the older kids could catch the turkeys because they were so big. It was really fun. Yeah, we're getting kind of close, Albert. Although we still have 3 years left, because it's the end of year 100. Because that will be 100 years in Stardew. Because you start on year 1. Yeah. A lot of my friends that are starting to settle down, because we're about that age, are looking into getting, like, larger pieces of land. A lot of them want horses, which is very funny to me, but kind of understandable. Like, weirdly, more than 3 different families I can think of want to get horses. Alright, let's put that away. How's this doing? Good. These are all families that have doctors in them, so they can actually get them. Yeah, exactly, Albert. Glad to hear it, Cal. One of my friends just had his second kid, which is scary. None of my other friends have even had one kid yet. Friends from high school, I should say. Some of my friends from other places have had kids. Some of them might be in this very chat. Oops. Someone from my high school has 4 kids now. Wow. I don't think I want 4 kids. That's a lot of kids. I arguably don't want more than 1 or 2. I'd imagine. I've never seen a train from Switzerland be on time. That seems odd to me. I thought, like, stereotypically Swiss were all about being on time. Maybe that's Germany. If you get too many, just dove a couple. That works less good in real life, Ocean. For a myriad of reasons. I'm interested how we're gonna do this now, though. Oh, we want that. Because something to note... is that we will be getting in 1.7 an upgrade to kids, and I'm very interested what that is, so I'm going to want to have kids to see it. However, I'm currently getting rid of every kid I get. We're going to have to change our tactics for a bit, probably. 13 hearts for perfection. I somehow doubt that. Let's put this all in here. There we go. I feel like I always have to organize my inventory. When I was 19, I met someone from elementary school with 4 kids, 2 with cancer. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I hope they were okay, Nelly. Jeez, that's terrifying. That's true as well, Ocean. Kids will go up quick. Kind of maybe getting a stack of doves? I don't know, Ocean. There isn't like a strong reason to. That might be how many we want, though. I'm not really sure how many mystery boxes we're gonna get. The more we get, the quicker we can get them. But also the more we get, the longer it's gonna take, and the more it might lag. So we'll have to see. We can always just choose to go on days with like the blessing of the spikes or whatever it's called, or crit days, just to kill them more quickly. So we'll see. We could probably get a stack. I don't think a stack would lag. It'd be a fun number to get to. Blade spawned like 10k and it was laggy, but I think 1,000 wasn't that laggy, if at all. We can also do all the farming and then get it up to 999. It's only going to lag while we're in there. Yeah, we're going to try and spread it out. Probably once per stream will be the ideal once we get them going. A stack per stream would still take 100 streams, though. They are going to be auto-clicked. We'd probably do it on a break. And 999 on a break would take too long. Maybe we'll do 500 at a time. That won't finish very quickly, though. The plan is to have a script of some kind that auto-deletes the items we don't need. On the 3rd day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens, 999 turtle doves, and a tea set on the Feast of the Winter Star. Hi, Casey. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. All of them have the exact same amount of seeds. They're just significantly less likely in certain places. But unfortunately, even without the seeds, there's still too many items. It's just how it is. And a lot of unstackable items, too. So basically, no matter what, we have to delete every single time we get something. I mean, not every time, but at least like every 10 times or so. Depending on how many things we want to keep. Glad to hear it. We've been going for... How do I even check? 2 hours and 40 minutes. Hi, May. May Komodo for life. Hi, hi. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome in. This is an octopus, and we're probably not going to catch it. Nope. That's okay. That was my thought too, Ocean. Exactly that. Have 2 rows be the safe rows. Take everything else out of my inventory. Make sure I have a place that they can stack into. And then just always delete across the bottom, like every 10 times I open a mystery box. May is perfect. Glad to hear it. Bubble Bubble. Hi, bees. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Bubble's out of range, I think. Nor do I even see one. The 999 challenge. We're trying to collect 999 of every stackable item in Stardew Valley. Unfortunately, that requires the fish. So, basically, every item in the game that stacks, we want 999 of it. Unfortunately for the fish, that actually means 2 stacks, because you can smoke the fish. So it's 1 stack of regular fish and 1 stack of smoked fish. I do use challenge bait a lot. We're not using it here because we're trying to get the night market fish. And we can only get these with magic bait, so they're exclusive. I can't do one or the other. Mutually exclusive is the word I'm looking for. Not just exclusive. Although they're also exclusive. Yeah. I try to use challenge bait whenever I can, but if the fish is too difficult, I can't like perfect catch it, so then I can't use challenge bait. And in some other rare instances, it's actually better not to. This is one of those rare instances. We still need basically every single fish that you can get from the ocean, though. So I planned it out. So all these extra fish I'm getting, I still need. We're just getting these ones done first. So this is still very efficient. The only fish we finished in the ocean is the squid. So if I do get any squids, they are unfortunately extra. But everything else is still needed. Weirdly, this challenge uses almost every single bait. I think the only bait we did not use was the regular bait and maybe the deluxe bait, although I think I might have used the deluxe bait at some point too. I don't remember. But yes, for some fish we use wild bait. A lot of fish we use targeted bait because it's actually better than using challenge bait, especially when I can't perfect catch the fish. And then a lot of fish we use challenge bait for. We're almost done with fishing. I mean, I say that, but it's not really true. But this is the amount of fish we still need to get down in the bottom left-hand corner there. It looks like a big number, but the total number is over 100,000. So we're probably about 75% of the way done. Should actually check what the total number is. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. Where are my fishies at? Okay, because we have fish and smoked fish. Oh my gosh. Oh, because fish includes it. There's 173,000 fish. That's much more than I thought there'd be. Oh, it includes the fish we need for cooking, though. So this would be a much more reasonable number if we take smoked fish and double it. Okay, so it's more like 120,000. Because cooking we got from fish ponds, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. So this is a more reasonable number, a reasonable way of looking at it. 65,000 times 2 is about 130,000. Reasonable. But we're down to 24,000 to go. Although that's not all of the fish. That doesn't include about 10. So there's about 20,000 more that we need outside of the Fecade, but I can't get within 3 years. So we're not going to focus on it for a while. All right, we're gonna jump away real quick. Deluxe bait was for crab pots. There you go, Ocean. I didn't think about crab pots. All right, let's count our fishies before they hatch. 7 plus 15 plus 3. Good amount of midnight squid this time. I'm happy that it's so low, actually. 13 plus 7 plus 3 plus 3 plus 16 plus 14 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 12 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. 105 fishies today. That makes the math easy. 24,604. 614. Fish to go. I have no idea why it didn't. Automod grabbed your message, Casey, and I have no clue why. It's a smart detection. Oh, but probably because you said it 3 times. That makes sense. It probably thought you were spamming. I pronounce it fecade. It looks like the word facade, I know, but it is fishing decade, so I pronounce it fecade. It's kind of funny to me that it looks like the word facade. These are our night market fish, by the way. We have an entire stack of these guys here, and then these are where we're at now.
Coconuts.
Blobfish is still almost 100 behind.
Coconuts.
I thought it was way different. Yeah, I'm just combining 2 words together. Like a portman... How do you say that? Portmanteau? So this is all of the fish we have done. These are all the regular fish, and this is all the smoked fish. If I have smoked a fish, it means I'm completely finished with it. Yeah, I couldn't remember how to pronounce portmanteau. Is that the right way? Portmanteau is how Google pronounces it. All right, so these are the remaining fish we have to finish. If I don't have a stack in here, or more than 1 in here, it means that I don't have a full stack of it yet. So for instance, albacore is very close to a full stack, but it's not at 1 yet. And then once this one's filled out, it becomes a smoked fish. So we're kind of close on some of these. The closest one right now, I think, is eel. Is at 1,500. These guys are catching up pretty quick, though. The end of a fisherman's foot, a portman's toe. It's pretty good. These are looking really good, though, because we've been doing all the ocean fish at the same time, but like in very small increments. So like albacore is almost at a stack, anchovies almost at a stack. Flounder, we're planning on getting elsewhere, but it's making progress. Halibut is, I think, the lowest one of all of our ocean fish, and that's very surprising to me. Like, I did not think it would be a tough one to get. Supposedly, we're supposed to get enough of it from just the albacore fishing and the regular fishing, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We might have to go out of our way to do halibut. End of spring is looking actually like kind of a reasonable time for that to be done, Ocean. Like, it's been going up very quickly here, and I'm only doing 2/3 days right now. I think we'll be done with midnight squid by the end of spring, and then maybe like half of summer. I want it to be iridium or the highest quality possible May is what we're doing. Yeah, even with how much I've been doing. So you see the ones that are silver here, you can't actually get a higher quality of these guys because they come from the crab pots, and you can only get the highest silver quality on there. So the idea is the highest possible quality. You're just catching them for the halibut. Yes, exactly. We have a timer for 1.7. That'd be fun, Nelly. 3 out of 5. Blade, please. That's at least a 3.5 out of 5. Come on. Welcome in, Blade. I hope you're doing well today. How was your stream this morning? I mean, I guess for you it was not this morning, but, you know, your stream earlier today. Is that right? Is it tomorrow yet? I don't know how to tell time in New Zealand. If y'all don't know Blade, Blade's an amazing streamer here on Twitch and also makes a really cool, awesome YouTube videos. We have a blade command, Diana. Come on. Got mining 5. Nice. So I'm actually going to start a new challenge run soon. And I'm doing the harder community center bundles, which are a mod, but only that mod. And I'm going to try and do it in 1 year. And it's very interesting because there's a few sticklers in there. Firstly, the vault costs almost 100k instead of like the 42,000 it normally costs. I know, Diana. And one of the items requires us to get to the desert, so the rhubarb is required. Rhubarb or garlic, but we're gonna have to do rhubarb because it locks the greenhouse. So we need to get the rhubarb in the ground before the end of spring, and it's 12 days. So we really got to focus on our early money. Happily passing out due to dings. That's pretty funny. Anyways, we were looking at these fishies here. Anything else we need? Yeah, halibut's one I'm kind of worried about. It's a little bit behind everything else. Although I guess it's not that far behind. Like herring's only at 700. Still it's like 150 behind that. Lingcod, legend, and sturgeon are all going to be ones I finish later because they're all going to be done together. So they're not included in this number down here. Redeemed allowed ding. Ding! 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 Wonder if I'm getting the timing right. It's been a while since I've watched. Octopus is something we got to focus on pretty soon, but we should be able to do it no problem. We just have not been focused very hard. The thing is, octopus, we're getting on average like 12 per day. So if we do the remaining amount of octopus we need. Sorry, that should be a plus. No, it is a minus. That's what I did wrong. Okay, we still need 1,405 octopus. If we divide that by 12 per day, it gets us 117 days. So as long as we have about a year, we should be able to finish octopus. That's scary that we have to spend an entire year farming for octopus still. But we have 3 years and 10 days left, so we should be okay. 9 days, technically, because today's over. Still a lot of work, though. But octopus does not take up a whole day. It's just the morning. So it's just going to be our morning chore for a while, unfortunately. Same with pufferfish. Whenever it's sunny on Ginger Island, we go straight from octopus into pufferfish. And so we should get pufferfish done a little sooner than octopus because you get more pufferfish than octopus in a given time period. I get about 20. So ideally on sunny days, we always go to Ginger Island in the morning and do both of those. And then on other days, we'll just do other things. It does rain a lot on Ginger Island. But I'm willing to bet that out of 3 years, we will in fact have 117 sunny days. At least. I guess it'll be more like 2.5 years. And even if it doesn't, we can still go get octopus on rainy days. We just can't get the pufferfish. Yeah, exactly, Ocean. Before we can plan out the remaining ocean fish fully, although I did some pre-planning, we have to finish these 3. Because it's a little up in the air how many other fish we're going to get finishing these 3. And once these 3 are done, then it's no longer up in the air. We saw how many fish we got. So then we can kind of fish for them separately and figure that out. Let's count how many fish we're going to have left after the fecade's over. 1, because we're not going to finish cockle. That's a one you pick up on the beach. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those should all be done. Should be done. Should be done. 10. Is it just 10? That doesn't seem right. I missed one of these, didn't I? Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I missed sturgeon. 6. Well, hold on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are all done. 10, 11. It's just 11. Dang. It's so close to 10. So if it was 10, we would have everything here done because this is exactly 10 spots here. So we're gonna have this spot here open and all of these open at the end of the Fecade. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, 11. Yep, that lists them out there, Ocean. Yeah, so cockles, mussels, and oysters all appear on the beach for iridium quality. And I can't get them from the... I mean, I could get them from the crab pots, but they won't be iridium quality, so we have to pick them up off the beach. So that's why I can't get them by the end of the Fecade, because it's just based on how many spawn on the beach, which will not be enough, unfortunately. So mussels and oysters are actually pretty good on progress. We already have a full stack of those. Cockles, however, we only have 370 or 380 of those. We're going to be collecting cockles for the next 500 years, probably. Maybe not that long. I mean, this is about 100 years. We've gotten about 376. We'll probably get a little more than that. So if we have 380 per 100 years... it should take about, 425 years, according to this. 425 more years. If that average continues, which it's not guaranteed to. That sounds like a lot, but we have to go to year 1500 anyways. And we'll start moving through the years a lot more quickly once we have most stuff done. Minimum 11 of stonefish and scorpion carp finish. I'm planning on finishing those. Admittedly, it will be a little tough, but we should be able to finish those, honestly. I don't expect it'll be that difficult. Stonefish, I think, would only be the only hard one. And, like, even on the bad days, when I spent a whole day stonefishing, I got close to 35 of them. Which isn't a ton, but if you think about it, that's only, like, 70 days of stonefishing to finish it then. Hold on. We need about 1,500 more stonefish divided by 35. Not even, 42 days. We should have enough time. 1.6 was 2 years ago. I know, right? Non-fish that will be finished this decade. We already did finish some stuff. But specifically stuff that we still have to do. I'm planning on finishing anvils. That's kind of what we're saving up our money for here. We're going to buy a bunch of iron and coal and run that through furnaces. Don't like that. The game came out 10 years ago. 9 years and 11 months ago at the moment, but pretty much 10 years ago. Red slime eggs, I don't think are going to finish. We've had quite a few days where we've gotten none. Unless I get another source of slime, which we might. But I don't think they're going to finish. Oh god, I was a teenager. Was I a teenager? No. No, I was not. Let's not talk about that. I wish I was a teenager 10 years ago. Alright. Let's get our zoomies on. Come on. There we go. Years ago, I was 22 and a half. I'll let you extrapolate from the data point on that one. Oh yeah, good thing we checked. You would not have put me at 30. I'll take that. The camera does subtract 10 years. It does not. Because of how I look or my actions. Very different points of view there. I was redacted years old. I'm older than you. That's okay. Yeah, I feel like we've been getting less and less red slime eggs. So I don't think I'm expecting to finish red slime eggs, unfortunately. We could kind of force the issue by getting more slime. If we have time after the fish, maybe that's something we'll do, Ocean. Sneakers subtracts 10 years. That might actually do it. Speaking of which. Based on the face alone, I'll take that. I do actually have weirdly good skin health. Not to compliment that, but... And I don't even have, like, a good skincare routine. I just... Trying not to brag, but it just kind of works out. Yeah, my birthday's in July, for reference. And I'll be 33 this year. Woo! How exciting. The big 3-3. Alright, I think we have everything. Let's go grab this before we forget. The beard subtracts age? Interesting. But you wouldn't say that if I was bald. That's a good point, Casey. When I was younger, I was in the sun a lot. Not so much anymore. Now I just take my vitamin D pill like everybody else. We did use a rain totem, I hope. Yes, we did. Okay. So I can go to bed. Actually, let's grab a rain totem for tomorrow. I like to have it in my inventory to remind myself to use it. You think I would look old or clean? You don't want to see my chin. I don't want to see my chin, so I know you don't want to see my chin. I wouldn't survive without vitamin D pills. I know. Fight the rickets. Take your vitamin D. Although if you made it to adulthood, you're probably good on rickets. Yeah. Honestly, if you live above like the 40th latitude, you should probably be taking vitamin D pills all year anyways. You can't really overdose on them. They're not going to like harm you. I mean, you can, but you have to take an absurd amount of them, which you shouldn't be taking anyways. So they're not going to hurt you, and they're likely to help you. Did I say 40th parallel? I meant to say 40th parallel. Yeah, that's a good point, Diane. Well, I am losing weight, so hopefully it'll get better. I have dropped 30 pounds in the last year and a half. Hopefully that trend continues. Hopefully I can start working out again once this thing on my stomach heals. Thank you. The drugs helped. I will not deny that the drugs did in fact help. Alright, we got those. Do we need anything else? Alright, let's get this set up here. I am taking Wegovy. Well, originally I was taking a different one, but now I'm taking Wegovy, which really helps because it suppresses your appetite a lot. But it makes a big difference for me. I ate way too much food. Or ate way too much food. Surprisingly, I gained weight during chemo. Don't ask me how that happened. The doctor was surprised too. I didn't stop eating, despite being nauseous. Which is probably why I needed the Wegovy later. It was actually about 10 years ago. It was about 9 years ago. 9 years ago today, I was doing chemo treatments. It lasted until May. I started in October? November? I think it started in November, technically. But I have been cancer-free for basically 9 years now. Yeah, bees, but I didn't really have a problem about, like, keeping healthy habits. The only unhealthy habit is that, like, I was very hungry all the time. So it wasn't really a problem with that. And, like, no matter what kinds of foods I ate, it didn't really, like, sate me unless I had, like, fatty foods. So, kind of a big deal for me to be able to not be hungry all the time. You're right, though. It is something I'm going to have to pay attention to if I do ever stop taking it. Oh, we are going to have ads here in a second. Sorry about that. Can't stop them now. I just noticed them. So I will see you after the ads. Exactly, Ocean. That's another thing too. Like, it's working really well for me. It works well for other people. Side effects are pretty minimal, although admittedly the nausea is pretty annoying sometimes. Love your face and I hate TurboTax. Good luck with TurboTax. Working from home, nice. As long as you're getting down the same amount, it's perfectly fine in my opinion. All right, it is a Friday. Okay, we're gonna go do Friday stuff, I guess, so I don't forget. Yeah, pocket size. Some people, the side effects are much worse. I do wonder if me having chemo earlier in life made it more bearable for me, because I've already had to deal with those sorts of side effects before. I have not once puked while taking the drug. Did they start you off at like a very small amount? Because they started me off where it wasn't even working, but it would still give me the side effects for a while. And then they slowly built up resistance to the side effects. Gotta get down on Friday. Yeah, because, like, I think the main difference that it makes, Delphi, is some people just have trouble not eating. Food is, like, extremely available nowadays. So, like, if there's food in front of you, a lot of people are just going to eat. And there's, like, different levels of people just wanting to eat all the time. Like, it's different from person to person. It's like a mental thing you can't really control. Like, I was just hungry all the time before. Like, even when right after I ate, I would still be hungry afterwards. And now it's just super nice to not be hungry all the time. Yeah, food can be very addictive. And since this might just be like a correlation thing, but since I've started taking like Wegovy and the other ones, I've eaten a lot more healthy foods in general. I don't think my sense of taste has changed at all, but I hope that works for you, Pocket. Yeah, I will say there was one time I came really close to throwing up while I was taking Wegovy. It was like right after I went to the highest dose, but there hasn't really been anything like that since. Now it's just vague nausea for a few days, which I've just kind of gotten used to. Not nearly as bad as it was in chemo, so I did throw up on chemo a few times. Actually, the only time I threw up on chemo was when I had a bad ham. That was really annoying because I was doing so well. And then I think my mom made it for me at the time. It was like a ham sandwich. And for whatever reason, it just wasn't like it was old ham or something. It was not a good time. Yeah, Nelly. Imagine insurance being annoying about something. Can't imagine it. I still cannot eat stuffed peppers. I might be willing to try them now. But my parents made me stuffed peppers, or made the family stuffed peppers one time when I was on chemo. And I still cannot stand the smell of them. It grosses me out. I think a lot of people have a similar experience on chemo, where there's like a food that they smelled or had on chemo and they just can't have it anymore. Yeah, I hope you can figure that out, Nelly. Casey, thanks so much for the subscription for the 7th month. And the following for 4 years. That's so amazing. Thank you so much, Casey. Oh, I was not paying attention. I'm supposed to be using my... Alright, we gotta focus up here. Forgot I was on challenge bait. I lost one for no reason there. Oh, I did it again. Welcome back from TurboTax. Yeah, it looks like the ads are over now. Welcome back, everybody. We're back to fishing. Challenge bait fishing until 11. And we swap over. Yeah, anxiety can manifest in a lot of different ways, Diana. But especially if people grew up in such a way where people were forcing them to eat certain foods, or preventing them from eating certain foods or tying their eating their food to their mental health in some way. Parents can sometimes do that without even realizing it. You could see how that could be like a stressor for you. Yeah, it's a shame about ads. I can't really turn them off, and really the best thing you can do is run 3 of them, or 3 minutes of them every hour. And I usually take breaks during that time, if I need to take a break. So at the very least, you don't have to miss anything. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to think about it, Diana. But yeah, for me specifically with chemo, it's a pretty common thing with chemo, because chemo, you know, makes me nauseous all the time. So if there's like a particularly strong tasting or smelling food, it like gets ingrained on your mind and like kind of like mentally linked to the nausea. Might be a good way to think about it. There was like 5 or 6 foods that were like that for me during chemo, but like most of them went away, but the stuffed peppers, because I never really had them before or since, are still like heavily linked to nausea in my mind. It's like an association thing. Brains are a weird thing. Our brains are designed to make like really powerful connections for memory purposes, but then they can also make really strong connections in bad ways because of that. Because having associations is really good for thinking, but it can be really bad if their associations are triggers. Brains are like stupidly complex things. I think that's a good description of them. Yeah, Delphi, it's very common. I'm pretty lucky that I just had the one thing. I couldn't have ham because of the exact incident I was mentioning earlier for like a year after chemo. I could eat bacon, but like specifically like honey baked ham, cut into pieces, things like that. Now I can though, and it's not a problem for me. Tuna salad does have a very nauseating smell, doesn't it? I tend to agree with you on that one. I don't dislike it, but it definitely has a very strong smell to it. So cilantro for me, it does not taste like soap, but it does have a very noticeable flavor. It's like very strong, right? And that's like one of the things that would be a problem on chemo. Because if you have this like really strong tasting thing, like that's very noticeable, it would, in theory, be likely linked to your nausea in your mind. A lot of people talk about Pavlov conditioning his dog to want food every time the bell rang, but you can bet your bet Pavlov probably did too. Thought of bells during dinner time? Yeah. I think there's a joke about that. I don't remember how exactly it goes. About Pavlov being conditioned to ring the bell every time it was dinner time or something. Oh, we're done with albacore. We gotta swap over here. The tuna salad has a pungent smell. Yes, bringing it back. There you go. Very powerful and noticeable. Although not necessarily bad, depending on your perspective. I feel like pungent normally means like bad, but it doesn't have to. Based on the definition I looked up earlier. It just has to mean strong or sharp. Tasting or smelling. One thing I like about connections is it forces me to look up the exact definitions of words. Because it quite often matters. No problem, Explosion Murder. Feel free to lurk. I'm glad you made it home, Albert. Sorry your train was delayed again. That sucks. It's good to get back, though, I bet. My roommate makes tuna salad sandwiches in the kitchen and it assaults my nostrils for hours. Yeah. That is one of the issues sometimes with roommates. Is you don't always want what they're making to be there. But you can't really stop them because you share the space. Good cheese is pungent in a good way. It's true. I would say cilantro has a pungent taste, but I don't dislike it. That's definitely one thing. Arguably, like, garlic does too. Like, garlic is extremely noticeable. Usually. But it's just really good. My brain was like, there's something I have to do. I do not have the soap gene, no. So it does not taste like soap to me, but it is like a very powerful flavor. Like, I feel like there does not, for me, need to be a lot of cilantro in something for me to know there's a cilantro in it, right? That's just the example I'm using. I could use another example too. Like, what's something else that has a very strong taste to it? For me, citrusy things are extremely noticeable because I don't like the citrus flavor. So if anything has like lemon or orange in it, I know immediately. Ooh, tea. Oh, that sounds good. Munster greater than all. Ooh, I don't know about that. Dude, a good cheddar is so hard to beat. Like, a good aged cheddar is so good. Smoked aged cheddar. Oh. Smoked Gouda is also good, but cheddar's my favorite. If you've never done this before, a good, like, aged cheddar with a tiny dollop of honey on top of it is, like, the best combination you'll ever have, in my opinion. Yeah, sharp cheddar with a tiny bit of honey on top. I usually put, like, a little dot when I do it. That's just for eating by itself, though. I agree Swiss is good with other things a lot of the time. And if you don't have, like, honey, you can also do jam. Just something kind of sweet is really good, but I really like it with the honey. No cheddar around my parts. I mean, it's not like we raise it here ourselves. Although there are cows, so probably do. I feel like most of the really good cheddar I get is from, like, the UK. Like, the one I normally get, I think, is called High Plains Cheddar. I think it's from Scotland. It's really good. There's also, there used to be an Irish cheddar. I think it still exists, but they don't sell it around here anymore. And that one's really good, too. Agreed, Nelly. You can also put it on a cracker of your choice. Usually not a flavorful cracker, though. You don't want the cracker to interfere with the flavor. Just like a vessel to carry your cheddar. Man, I used to have wine and cheese parties all the time. It's been a while. I might do another one. They're so good. Is Munster pungent? Huh. I guess so. When I think of pungent cheeses, the first one that comes to mind is blue cheese, which I do enjoy. I also think brie is quite pungent, although most people like brie. I do not. Brie is like the only cheese I don't like, unfortunately, which is weird because everyone else loves it. For me, I just really don't like the flavor. Nothing wrong with apples or strawberries with your cheese. I prefer usually like a blackberry with the cheese, especially a jam. I feel like every Munster I've ever had has not been pungent at all. Maybe I'm not having the right ones. I don't recognize those other two off the top of my head, at least. Like, I feel like at least the Munster we get in the US is so... It's like intentionally bland or something. Ooh. Yeah, I don't despair anyone who likes brie. For whatever reason, I just do not like the flavor of it at all. Hope you're doing well today, Sarah. Welcome in. Okay, yeah. Because Munster when I worked at Little Caesars, Munster was included in the cheese mix we put on the pizzas. So it was very much, very intentionally, very much not like a strong flavor. Like we mixed Munster and mozzarella to make the cheese for the pizzas. And that was white Munster, obviously. Hi, Creativia. Welcome in. I think it's because Munster is cheaper than mozzarella. Stop killing me, please. Sorry. Mozzarella is very expensive. Also delicious, but very expensive. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess it's probably fake Munster. There's an all-you-can-eat fine dining buffet in the south of France with a world record largest cheese availability. The 75 bucks is worth the experience. Ooh, that does sound like it would be. Got a volunteer position at a clay studio. I'll be getting membership for free now. Secured a job interview on Monday. Fingers crossed, Sarah. I hope that goes well. I need to start looking for jobs again. Hopefully they're going to start opening up soon for teaching because we're getting closer to the end of the year. Anna, welcome in. Like, I keep checking for jobs over the last, like, 6 months, but there's nothing really available because it's during the school year. Welcome in, Anna. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, always glad to hear good news around here. Ooh. That's like part of tomato caprese salad.
Oh, it's a person.
Akira, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, I bet it is, Casey. Come teach with me. I would love to, but I need money. And I also probably not near you. It's surprising to me that you could rant to children about things you can't say in chat, but sure. Do 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 do. Yeah, part of it is all the jobs are available around the same time, and I was not able to find one last summer. Gotcha, Anna. I think. I see, I see. Is this part of Canadian history that I'm not aware of? Yeah, you're saying it's about Canadian politics, so that makes some sense. Yeah, for how fondly everyone remembers the 1900s, it sure wasn't great for a lot of people. The guy who does documentaries on Canadian history hasn't touched it yet. You mean Bobby Broccoli? I literally just watched the Doug Ford video when it came out, like 2 weeks ago. And I knew nothing about him beforehand. Is it Doug Ford? Something Ford. It was great. He makes such good documentaries. Jeez, Anna. And that's what some people want to regress to. My goodness. Glad to hear your classes are fun. Rob was the one with the drugs. From the documentary I watched, I'm not sure he was the only one, but yeah. Sounds like he was pretty complicated, but maybe the thoughts aren't that complex about him now. I mean, it's probably okay to say that word, but in the context that Anna's using it, it's understandable why she maybe wanted to censor it. Like, I wouldn't be comfortable using that word because I'm straight and cis. It's not my word to use. But also, if you aren't those things, which is very common for this chat, I don't know enough about it to know if it would be bad for me to use, to be honest. That's kind of the problem. Are men not sad in the suburbs? Is that like a song lyric? It sounds like a song lyric from like a Simon and Garfunkel song. Are men not sad in the suburbs? Ah, I see, Anna. Sorry, I didn't see what Anna said before you. I just saw, are men not sad in the suburbs? War on Quebec. That is the right length, isn't it? Just about. Nice sail, Albert. Hope you enjoy it. It's fine. I don't have VR. I'm pretty sure it's VR only, right? Come on, Fishy. Stop being so rude. Canada is a very unfortunate place because Quebec is there? I don't know what you mean by that, Casey. That doesn't seem quite right. Should I add sun-dried tomatoes to the cheese mix for my bread tonight? If you want to. That sounds pretty good to me. So am I. Yeah. Let's try not to use chat to despair entire regions if we can avoid it. Personally, I'm not Canadian, but I imagine that's probably not the nicest thing to say, even if you are from there. You could be just referring to government, but at the same time, let's try to avoid doing that. We're the second largest country on the planet Earth, and if Russia keeps on shrinking, we'll soon be the first. As long as we keep Quebec. That's part of a song. That's very interesting. And Alberta. Canada is really, really big. Yeah, that's perfectly fair. Creativia. Yeah, no one has to share where they're from. And actually, I would probably delete your comment if you gave your address or something. Please do not dox yourselves. I'm from 123 Wallaby Way, Sydney, Australia. See you later, Anna. Oh, mermaid! The mermaid's here! Or, this isn't the mermaid, it's like the merfolk. And it's gone. A lot of people from here are from Canada. That's not that surprising. Canada is my second highest viewership after US. If you're at the ocean a lot, it will show up eventually, but most people don't stay here long enough. That's probably the 5th or 6th time we've seen it, I think. We've been doing a lot of fishing lately. I give the time zone. I believe this is from Celeste. I'm not sure if it is checking, but it probably is. Checking in, rather. Yes, it is. That's been in the game since the beginning, I think, but it's always been a very rare event. Like, Bigfoot is significantly more common than that. But if you just hang out here long enough, I think it's like a check every frame, but it's an extremely low chance. So if you're here in the beach, it also can happen off screen if you're not super zoomed out like me. Wait, Bigfoot? We had a discussion about this earlier. Yeah, Bigfoot. Bigfoot was added in 1.6. It's a rare thing that you can kind of see him off in the distance occasionally. Unless you're in the secret woods, then he can kind of spawn right on top of you. No, it can spawn at like anywhere, like around in this area, and it probably even over toward the right side of the map too. It makes like a fish being caught sound. That sound right there. So if that doesn't line up with your rod, and then it'll be somewhere like anywhere around here, and then it will go straight down and away. I've seen Bigfoot a few times. Yeah, I got added in 1.6, and it's not that uncommon. You're probably on a regular playthrough likely to see it at least once. Welcome in, Pancake. Hope you're doing well today. I saw it a whole bunch because I was doing some weird stuff in the woods. And if you hang around in the area for long enough, it'll just keep happening over and over again, which is very funny. You end up seeing Bigfoot like 20 times in a day. There's a spawn near the Wizard's Tower, and if you just like keep on walking in and out of that area, like I was doing because I was using deconstructors. Oh my god, we got another one! Hello? That's 2 in a row! That has gotta be ridiculous odds there. It spawned in the same spot, too. I wonder if Legacy RNG makes it more likely to occur, like, more than once in a row. Because Legacy RNG tends to have patterns that repeat themselves very quickly, for some reason. Two mermans. Merfolk. I don't know what to call them exactly. 2 Lexis, we'll say. For those of you who are aware of eScarp mod. The eScarp mod. He literally talked about this in an article yesterday. Creativia, which is very good. Mer people might work too. It's very funny that you're bringing that up now. Yeah, he literally in the interview he gave that came out on IGN yesterday, he talked about it again. It still has not been discovered, according to him. Yep, still undiscovered. He said specifically that it's, I guess, he said it's very, very difficult to discover, and it points / hints at something that he never ended up putting in the game. He said also that he doesn't expect anyone to actually find it, so it's probably extremely obscure. Like, more obscure than you probably even think. But since it's not directly in the game code, it's got to be in, like, either any art or dialogue, and somehow hidden in that. Because if it was in the game code, people would have found it. So it's got to be just like some sort of image in some sprite art, or it's got to be some kind of something hidden in like a dialogue message. I don't know, Creativia. He probably likes the game to have a bit of mystery, and people are chatting about that a lot, so it makes sense. Like, it's interesting. It's probably fun for him to have something hidden in the game that has been played by like 40 million people and no one's found it as well. Yeah, mysteries are good for the game. I'm sure people have searched for it, but it's kind of hard to imagine where you'd even start looking. Like, there's 4 rocks around here. That maybe means something. How do we check if it means something? Look at, there's 4 rocks by the big rock. As far as I know, it's been in the game since at least 1.5, because he hasn't given an interview about it since after 1.5 that I'm aware of. And it points to something that he was going to add to the game later, but never did. And I think that's kind of the only hints we have. I don't know. It's going to have something to do with that dumb stone. Is that even the same stone as this one? Yeah, he moved it, so it's actually in the right spot. Oh, it doesn't close your map anymore. It used to close your map when you clicked on it. Now it just makes the sound. There's already a secret here. So anything that got added 1.6 is not going to have it. So like all this map art was updated, so it can't be on here because this was updated in 1.6. Oh, I'm trying to think anything else. My farm does not look like that, by the way. We have a discussion about this. Output the auto clicker on that stone. Maybe if you click the lonely stone 5,000 times, something will happen. Someone try it. Not me. I'm fishing. Actually, I'm done fishing. I mean, I'll put some thought to it, but I don't expect to find it. I have some ideas, but all of them are too obvious, so I don't think it could be possibly what he meant. Alright, let's do some calculations here and see how many fish we got today. 21 plus 6 plus 12 plus 7 plus 5 plus 10 plus 4 plus 9 plus 15 plus 1 plus 1, so 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, which is 5. 102 fishies today. That pulls us down to 512. 24,500. Woo, look at that. We're on our second stack of albacore. We did it. Chat. I did it. I think. Bit by bit. Alright, let's gather up our troops here. Prepare for tomorrow. I'm gonna grab... actually, that honestly should be enough for the morning. Let's grab 3 of these. We did end up actually using all 3 last time. And 2 of these. Our curiosity lures are getting low again, unfortunately. A power of 2 for the last digit. Alright, we already got it raining tomorrow. Let's go ahead and grab one of these for tomorrow, just to have it in our inventory so we don't forget to use it immediately on waking. I've been waking. And then, I think I'm actually done for today, y'all. I'm getting kind of tired. Sleepy even. I might take a nap. That sounds nice. But for now, we will go ahead and send you all somewhere lovely. I'll go ahead and see who's live. Power of 2 for the last 3 digits. Truly. Inspired. Admiral Brahu is... How do you even say his name? It's Baru, right? Yeah, Baru. I forgot I was even following them. Is playing Stardew today. We're not gonna go there because he doesn't need any more viewers. But that's kind of cool. Please, please do not tell me who's live. I am more than capable of checking. It bugs me a little bit. I will. Don't worry. I'll send you guys somewhere lovely. It might be Habu, but it might be somebody else. No, you're good, Albert. Just in the future. If I ask, that's one thing, but I just want to make sure I'm picking people. We are going to go to Habu, though, I think, based on what I'm seeing here. Part of it is I just don't want people to feel bad if, like, someone says someone's online and then I don't end up rating them, you know? And then I feel bad about that. Alright, let's head on over to the Habu. Habu's awesome. Unfortunately, looks like he had to reset the run again. He's working on perfection runs. Hopefully they'll go well. And let me go ahead and set up ourselves a read message here. Copy the first one if you are a subscriber. Copy the second one if you are lacking a subscription. Copy paste those when you get in there. And thank you everyone so much for hanging out today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the future. Bye for now, everybody. Goodbye, Nico. Goodbye, Albert. Goodbye, Delphi. Goodbye, Nelly. Goodbye, Creativia. Goodbye, Ocean. Goodbye, Sarah. Goodbye, Pamcake. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I'll see y'all later.